Gents, the first one is in front of you. You're both sharing option A and option B. Now remember, these are two identical dishes that have been prepared in identical ways. Only one ingredient has changed. It's been made with a more premium version of it.
We've got a spoon. What are you doing?
You got a spoon.
Why are you putting my spoon in your mouth?
Get a spoon. I did get a spoon. I found my spoon.
Oh,
it's not sweet. Overnight oats?
Yep, exactly that. You've got a little glass jar of overnight oats with some stewed fruit. And there's B. Prepared in exactly the same way. It's still overnight oats with honey and blood orange.
Oh.
It's not necessarily, well, there is a flavour difference, but it's the texture that is completely different.
It has a different texture, different viscosity. I'm going to say different oats.
I think it's the oats we're looking at, Ebbers.
It is the oats. One of those is made with a fairly regular supermarket oat, and one is a more premium oat.
I don't think I buy premium oats, and one is more familiar to me. But I think I prefer the other one.
Because you're both playing at the same time, all we want you to do is scribble on your board A or B. And please reveal your answer in 3, 2, 1.
A.
B.
Explain your logic and what were you tasting and experiencing?
A was definitely my favourite of the two. The oats were softer. It felt like they'd taken on more of the liquid and the moisture and had a much better eating experience. B felt a lot tougher, chewier. Yeah, but I have got a question mark over whether that means they're better oats.
Baz?
A feels more pappy in that the oats must have been covered in dust, and therefore that went into the liquids and then turned it into more of a thicker experience. B feels a cleaner eat.
I know what you mean.
And it feels more refreshing.
Having now seen them, I would have changed my answer to B.
Interesting. I can reveal that the premium oats, and by that we mean the more expensive porridge oats, are B. Barry, you are correct. There is another difference at play here. A is Morrison's Savour porridge oats. They are rolled oats, which means they're steamed, rolled, and then dried before you get them. It's why they're a quick cook. It's why they'll cook on the stove or on the microwave really quickly if you're doing hot porridge, and they do absorb more and quicker if you're doing overnight oats. Whereas B, the premium option, are Den Sorte Have ancient grain black oat steel cut porridge oats. So it's a Norwegian brand, but most importantly, black oats, a different variety, but also they are steel cut, not rolled. So they're literally chopped up and they haven't been through that steaming process. So they take more time to cook, longer time to cook, and they keep that nuttier, grainier texture.
They definitely give a nuttier texture, and I'd say even a more flavour to them. I definitely prefer the eating experience of the premium oats, but it depends on how much more they are to the basics.
See, I'm the opposite, and maybe it's because it's what I'm more used to, but I prefer the eating experience of the cheaper ones. It feels easier to eat.
It's also, I think, almost that comparison between soft cooked white rice and like a wild rice or a whole grain rice that's got more of that bite, that texture, that nutty feel. B, the premium, is more nutritionally sound because it has all those extra minerals and this like the husk, it's all still a part of it. Whereas the rolled oats are actually fractionally higher in protein. It's a type of oat that existed before modern agriculture in Norway, so hence an ancient grain. And it's a variety that doesn't need pesticide treatment because it was already sturdy and strong on its own before things developed. Quicker varieties came along, but those quick varieties had other flaws and things like pesticides were required to grow them. So it's also a more sustainable option. But what if I told you that the cheaper option, Morrison Savour's porridge oats, were 99 pence per kilo, and the Norwegian speciality brand, £9.90 per kilo, so 10 times the price. We should stress in all of these Pick the Premiums, there are obviously options either side and in between of these. These are just two fairly extreme examples to have the conversation.
We buy good quality rolled oats that supposedly have better health benefits than this one, but don't taste that much better. Well, and I dramatically prefer that as a flavour to that.
I felt like I was eating a health food when it came to the premium one, whereas A felt like it was overnight oats.
One of you managed to pick the premium. Well done, Baz. You
Yay.
take a point into our second round. Get ready. Barry, you're leading by 1 point. Round 2.
Yes.
Again, you've got A and B prepared identically, except for one ingredient.
Where's A?
Oh,
Oh, it's wet.
hang on a second, it's stringy.
I'm instantly rotating. I feel like it's a spaghetti dish. I don't know why.
Okay, so we've got spaghetti with
a tangy
tomatoey.
sauce.
Tangy, sweet and tangy sauce.
Sweet and tangy sauce, yeah.
Jay's going back for more, just to
absolutely-
cement his opinion
it's
before he
delicious.
moves to B.
I'm into B.
There's B.
Open wide, Baz. Got a lot on that fork.
Oh,
Jay got the garnish on that one as well. Now, what's important in this game is that both dishes have been prepared with identical weights and measures, times, temperatures, even the same saucepans that we use, the same heat temperature on the hob, so that everything is identical as possible, except for that one ingredient that's changed. Do you know what the ingredient is?
I don't think it's the spaghetti.
It's not the
The
spaghetti.
sauce is different.
The sauce is different, it is.
Is it pre-bought tomato sauce?
It is pre-bought tomato paste that we're looking at. So we're talking about tomato puree.
Interesting.
This is a beautiful sidekick dish. It's caramelized shallot and tomato pasta, and it uses tomato paste as a really instant hack and cheat and hit of tomato.
I don't think I'm giving anything away by saying I definitely prefer B. And it's sweeter.
Okay then, well now you have locked in your answers. Give them a spin in 3, 2, 1.
B.
B.
You've both locked in B as the premium. You cannot change your mind, but take your blindfold off, would you? Now you can see the mess you've
God.
made.
Oh, we've made a mess, haven't we?
Not really.
B might be slightly darker,
Yes.
slightly.
Yeah, just redder, just more. I say it looks more vibrant.
Are we talking like twice the difference, 50% more, 10% more? What's the...
I think between 10 and 20% more. I had to really concentrate, and when I did really concentrate, I felt that B was a bit more floral. I found there were some higher notes in there than the kind of A, which felt a bit more on one level.
Well, I'm glad you were concentrating, because I can reveal that the premium was B.
Whee!
Yeah.
So A is Occado's Italian tomato puree double concentrated, and B, the premium, is Mutti's triple concentrate Italian tomato. Now, both are sold in a 200-gram tube.
There is a difference. I wonder, could A catch up with B with just a bit of sugar?
more.
A bit of
more.
sugar,
Yeah.
or a little bit more, and then maybe a little bit more reduction. Essentially, the double concentrate means it's been reduced down a bit, and the reason that B tastes sweeter is the tomatoes were riper and had more sugar in them in the first place. So if you're looking, and it's difficult when they're in a tube, but if you're looking at two side by side, you're looking for something that's still nice and bright and red. It hasn't like lost its colour and gone dull. Should be nice and smooth, no chunks or tomato seeds in it, and no metallic taste coming from the packaging, whether that's tin, tube, or jar, whatever.
Call it branding, but whenever I'm going to buy chopped tomatoes or tomato products that I know I'm going to use in a pizza or something like that, I will always go for Mutti or Polpo. They're the two brands that I kind of like go between because of the Italian thing, and I know that they're higher quality. Interestingly, in this, I wonder if the bigger difference is the double and the triple concentrate. If we've used the same actual amount.
The extra process.
Yeah.
Perhaps so. I mean, Mutti also say, the more premium option, that they work with the Italian farmers to help reduce water consumption and CO2 emissions. So they're trying to focus in on sustainable farming and everything else. So there's lots of other practices at play, as there always is with Pick the Premium. In both instances, they're sold in 200-gram tubes, so we might as well just do it based per tube. The cheaper option is 65 pence, whereas Mutti's triple concentrate is £2. So it is 3 times the price, give or take.
So we're going to swap now, because I would say, even though it doesn't make that much a difference in the dish, percentage-wise, it's a big difference, actual monetary value wise, the difference between 65p and £2, I'll go for the more expensive one because it's a low cost.
That extra, £1.50-ish.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that.
Isn't massive, and I'd probably go for the one that
That's interesting logic, because since I heard the price, I was swaying towards that.
that.
That's silly, why would I pay double the price?
So ask me again tomorrow, and I might change my mind.
Application is always key. You're right, if you're squeezing it into a stew or a casserole or using it in place of a marinade, which is excellent because of the acidity of the tomatoes, base to a marinade for meats is awesome. But in a dish where tomato puree is front and center, midweek, deliciousness crammed into a few minutes, maybe the extra is worth spending. Comment down below, what do you think? You both got the premium on this one, which means, Barry, you're leading 2 points to 1 as we go into round 3. This one could take a while.
What?
You've got A and B. See if you can guess what's changed.
Is it quiche?
Quiche?
What is that? Might be a pork pie.
Jerry, there's not pork pie.
Jamie's gone for the pork pie.
What do you mean I've gone for the pork pie? That was a pork pie. Have you not got a pork pie?
No.
Dibbers, what have you done?
How about cheese?
There's also egg, potato, watercress and roast beef on the board.
What?
It's a ploughman's. Do you know what? For the sake of the format, and we've had our giggle, I'm going to tell you the cheese is the thing that's changed, otherwise we will be here all day. Can you work out what cheese it is, and can you work out which one is the premium, A or B?
And that is a hard,
Dry.
I'm not going to say Italian cheese.
Oh, the fact it was ploughman's made me think it'd be a British cheese.
Yes, that's what's throwing me. Now,
Try B, see if you can spot any big differences.
you get a pork pie.
It's gone straight for the pork pie again. Same pork pie.
Creamier.
Yeah, creamier, silkier. A has more of a grain to it.
He's going back for a bit
Why
of a
don't I know what type of cheese this is? It's a really familiar, quite a standard cheese. What is
It's difficult with the blindfold on.
Yeah.
Because you're not seeing the colour. But it is indeed red Leicester.
Is it red Leicester?
Oh no.
But you've got A and B. All I want you to do is write down which you think is the premium cheese. While you're both chewing your pork pie, reveal your answers in 3, 2, 1. Pick the premium.
A.
A.
You've both locked in A. Take your blindfolds off, have a peek. What was it that made you choose A? And do you
Whoa.
think you're right now that you can see it?
A did not taste like the red Leicester that I am used to eating. I am not used to eating premium red Leicester. It's always seen to me as a cheaper cheese, a very mild cheddar taste that doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what I got from B. Whereas A, drier,
Yeah.
saltier, had a lot more going on. And that's why I thought that would be the premium.
That is absolutely delicious, and it is further towards a Parmesan in its
Yeah.
saltiness than what I'd associate with Leicester being a bit more like cheddar.
I can reveal that the premium in this round is A. A is Sparkenhoe red Leicester cheese. So it's England's only unpasteurised cheese from the Sparkenhoe farm. It's been made there since 1875.
Wow.
And B is Sainsbury's Stamford Street red Leicester. So big blocks, still coloured with annatto, which is what makes it that unique colour, but more familiar to what we're used to of red Leicester and that kind of fudgy, bouncy, mellow flavour.
Yeah, visually, no competition,
Yeah.
is there? And actually, taste-wise, no competition either. That is an easy premium is better.
I would never think to put red Leicester on a cheese board. Whereas that would work.
Absolutely, and that's kind of where, unfortunately, red Leicester has got a bit of a bad rap over the years because there's not a huge number of quality, artisanal, premium red Leicesters made. It's unpasteurised milk, so that means you get all that lovely kind of grassy, herbal notes coming through as well. It's nutty, it's mellow, and because it's in a big wheel and it's aged for between 6 and 12 months, you'll notice on it, you get different textures into the middle of the wheel. So that's a slice from the wheel, and it's even more fudgy at one end in the middle than it is slightly drier and more concentrated nearer the rind. Whereas the big blocks, they're made en masse, cut to size. It is packaged in the UK, but doesn't say where it's actually made or where the milk's from, so it may or may not be a British cheese. It's packaged in the UK and possibly not from Leicester. Worth pointing out the premium red Leicester, you're probably going to have to go to somewhere quite special to get it because there's not a huge amount of it made in that artisanal, unpasteurised, handmade artisanal way. This one we got from the Fine Cheese Company. It comes beautifully wrapped, and it even comes with a little booklet that tells you how to care for your cheese. And there is a huge amount of care that goes into not just the making of the cheese and the buying of the cheese and the storing of the cheese, but even the way they wrap it and send it to you. Price-wise though, the Sainsbury's Stamford Street Red Leicester, that was a 600 gram block, but let's look at it per kilo, £6.98. So just shy of £7 for a kilo. It's very much a supermarket cheese and you buy it by the block so you can cut it square into sandwiches and that's kind of where it gets used. Whereas Spark & Hoe is £36 a kilo. So 5 times as expensive.
It's 5 times the experience.
And more so, 10 times.
It's in a weird way, they're not comparable.
Yeah.
That they are 2 very different products doing 2 very different things, and I would expect them to have a very different price point. I do think that has a place though. I do think
I don't understand where.
cheap cheese will always have a place.
Cheese and cheese jacket potato. There.
Cheese sandwiches, cheese on toast,
But
all
even
of those
for
kind
colour,
of just.
it's got the least flavour. Like the cheddar.
Yeah. But it will have a place, and it does have a place in millions of people's houses around the UK.
I think you're absolutely right, Jay, and that's why actually cheese has such a big role on a ploughman's, is it is a very nutritious role for what was a very working class lunch, the ploughman's lunch, because it's really nutritious. Concentrated milk, high in protein, high in fats, and high in all the vitamins and minerals that come with dairy. The premium cheese is celebrating and keeping the tradition alive for the artisan cheesemakers at Spark & Hoe, and we love their stuff.
Love it.
Lovely.
Well, you both got that one as well, so Barry is still in the lead by 1 point with 1 round to go. Fun one to finish, but can Jamie claw it back for the draw? A and B, same rules apply. Huge visual difference in this one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, Barry cheersed it straight off his spoon.
Is that rice pudding?
Yeah, it's ricey.
Like tropical fruity as well?
Oh,
Oh,
hard rice pudding with peach.
Okay, interesting.
yummy.
Try B, see if you get same or different.
The texture's completely different.
Oh.
What a mess. Yes, correct, the texture is completely different. Not of the bottom.
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
Why the heck is that spicy?
You got spice?
I've got spicy rice pudding.
Where?
There's slithers of red chilli on the top.
What? No, but there's a sweet and creaminess.
Yeah, I suppose a coconutty.
making it coconut.
Well, okay, there we go. We've got chilled coconut sticky rice, topped with chili lime and a fruit. What's the fruit? It's not peach.
Mango.
It is mango. Mango on top of both, but one of them is a more premium, more expensive mango.
Well, they're completely different textures.
It feels like there's a ripening difference rather than like a quality difference.
Yes, there is a difference in the variety of mango.
One is harder, has more of a bite to it. One feels juicier. But is that the type of mango or is that the premium?
Pick a premium, A or
This
B.
is the
And by
hardest
premium,
one.
rules of the game, which one is more expensive? You've both scribbled. Flip round your boards in 3, 2, 1.
B.
B.
You both think.
No, tell you what, just to mix it up, because I don't want to win this by default. A.
Okay, you can now take your blindfolds off and have a look. Quite a visual difference.
Oh wow, really
Jay, one of
visual
them is a
difference.
different colour to the other.
I would probably stick with B. Just visually, I'm getting the same experience as I'm getting in my mouth, which is juicy. A looks dry, and I think you can taste that through the texture as well.
I can reveal the premium in this final round is B. So A is Asda's ready-to-eat, tropical and sweet large mango, and B is an Alfonso mango, which we got from our veg supplier.
I feel like I've heard of Alfonso as a variety before.
As a variety, it's known as the king of the mangoes. It is highly prized. It's an Indian mango, and it has a very short-lived season, which is just coming in now and will run for a few months. But they are so beautifully perfumed and prized for their juicy flavour, but also such a soft texture.
Yeah.
To the extent where if you spoon it out, it feels like you're eating gelato or sorbet. It feels like it's already got that creamed, whipped consistency. Whereas the other variety, and this is a Kent mango, other varieties like Parma or Keat are sometimes used by the supermarkets. They don't necessarily tell you where it's from. They tell you where they source across the year. So Asda source their mangoes from Peru, Israel, West Africa or Brazil, depending on the time of the year, but so that 365 they can give you a ripe, ready-to-eat mango. So it's the same variety, but it could come from all sorts of places, and it turns out like that. And it's probably what we're more familiar with seeing, just because it's the one or the type of mango we have a lot more of in the UK all year round. But Alfonso mangoes are the ones we should all be keeping an eye out for at this time of year because they are sensational.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the Alfonso mango is more like the ones that we've had when we've travelled, like in places across the US or other places where we've had really fresh mangoes. They've been far more like those Alfonso ones.
And it might be the better option if you want to slice it and grill it or something like that, because actually the Alfonso mango, just give me a teaspoon and literally slice it up, chop it up and eat it. It's delicious. If you're looking at mangoes, you know, variety is key, but actually what you're looking for is something that has a slight give to it but isn't mushy. You want something that's quite fragrant. If you smell it, even without cutting into it, it should smell fragrant. And essentially, you don't want it too hard or too mushy. Looking for that will give you a relatively good mango. But should we talk price?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting chat.
The Asda ready-to-eat tropical and sweet large mango, 94 pence a mango at the moment, so just under £1 per piece of fruit. We like to do this fairly, so we then prepped it, cut it, and weighed the edible part, removing the skin and the stone, and it works out at £3.31 a kilo. The Alfonso mango, 31% wasn't edible, so we ended up with 175 grams per mango. Comes in at £19.71 a kilo, £3 or £4 each.
I've had some exceptional fruits in the past. Melons, strawberries, grapes of the Japanese varieties that have blown me away, and I can justify a couple of quid, but not on a regular basis.
No, that's a special experience, mango.
Well, yeah, and I think like a lot of fruit, perhaps it should just be more seasonal. Just for 2 or 3 months a year, treat yourself to exceptional Alfonso mangoes in the same way British strawberries for a few months a year, I would say are some of the best in the world. So, because of that weird switch of scoring, it's a draw. I mean, Barry knew he was going to win and decided he was going to throw it out because, hey, we're all friends. And what that means is we end on a draw. We've all learned something. So over to you guys. Comment down below. What do you think about those 4 ingredients? Would you, do you, pay for the more premium option?
Would you, do you, mango?